guys. So I'm sorry this is going up a little bit late, but it's been really loud in my building for the last like 3 days. I've been on break and I have just not been able to record anything. It's been so loud. So I'm gonna try and make this now, and I apologize if you hear my roommate in the background, but this is the quietest it's been. So, the seven wonders of the world refers to remarkable constructions of classical antiquity listed by various authors in guidebooks, popular among ancient Hellenic tourists, particularly in the 1st and 2nd centuries BC. The most prominent of these, the versions by Antipater of Sidon and an observer identified as a Philo of Byzantine, comprises 7 works located around the eastern Mediterranean rim. The original list inspired innumerable versions through the ages, often listing 7 entries. Of the original 7 wonders, only one, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the oldest of the ancient wonders, remains relatively intact. That's the end of the introduction. Sorry if I'm talking a little fast. I want to try and get this recorded before it gets loud again. Subsection 1, Background. The Greek conquest of much of the known world in the 4th century BC gave Hellenistic travelers access to the civilizations of the Egyptians, Persians, and Babylonians. Impressed and captivated by the landmarks and marvels of various lands, these travelers began to list what they saw to remember them. Instead of wonders, the ancient Greeks spoke of thermatra, which means sights, in other words, things to be seen. Later, the word for wonder was used, and this is also the case in modern Greek, hence the list was meant to be the ancient world's counterpart of a travel guidebook. Each person had his own version of the list, but the best known and earliest surviving was from a poem by Greek-speaking epigrammatist Antipater of Sidon from around 140 BC. He named 6 of the 7 sites on his list, leaving out the lighthouse, but was primarily in praise of the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. Another 2nd century BC observer who claimed to be the mathematician Philo of Byzantine wrote a short account entitled The 7 Sights of the World. However, the incomplete surviving manuscript only covered 6 of the supposedly 7 places which agreed with Antipater's list. And the architect of Commission housed at the museum survived only as reference. That appears to be an incomplete sentence. The Colossus of Rhodes was the last of the 7 to be completed after 280 BC, and the first to be destroyed by an earthquake in 225 or 226 BC. Hence, all 7 existed at the same time for a period of less than 60 years. Antipater had an early version which replaced the lighthouse of Alexandria with walls of Babylon. Lists which preceded the construction of the Colossus of Rhodes completed their 7 entries with the inclusion of the Ishtar Gate. Scope. It is thought that the limitation of the list to 7 entries was attributed to the special magical meaning of the number. Geographically, the list covered only sculptural and architectural monuments of the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern regions, which then comprised the known world for the Greeks. Hence, existent sites beyond this realm were not considered as part of the contemporary accounts. The primary accounts coming from Hellenistic writers also heavily influenced the places included in the wonders list. 5 of the 7 entries are a celebration of Greek accomplishments in the arts and architecture, the exceptions being the pyramids of Giza and the hanging gardens of Babylon. The 7 ancient wonders are the Great Pyramids of Giza, the hanging gardens of Babylon, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the statue of Zeus at Olympia, Mausoleum of Hannahus, Colossus of Rhodes, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria. It's got a pretty cool timeline, kind of showing when each one existed. So if you get a chance, definitely check that out. Influence, arts, and architecture. The 7 wonders of Antipater's list. 1 praise for the notable features ranging from superlatives of the highest or largest of their types to the artistry with which they were executed. The British Museum in London. Still, the listing of 7 of the most marvelous architectural and artistic human achievements continued beyond ancient Greek times to the Romans, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and to the modern age. The Roman poet Martial and the Christian bishop Gregory of Tours had their versions reflecting the Christianity and the factor of time, nature, and the hand of man overcoming and Pater's 7 wonders. Roman and Christian sites began to figure on the list, including the Colosseum, Noah's Ark, and Solomon's Temple. In the 6th century, a list of 7 wonders was compiled by St. Gregory of Tours. The list included the Temple of Solomon, the Pharaohs of Alexandria, and Noah's Ark. Modern historians working on the premise that the original 7 wonders list was limited in geographic scope also had their versions to encompass sites beyond Hellenistic realm, from the 7 wonders of the ancient world to the 7 wonders of the world. Indeed, the 7 wonders label has spawned innumerable versions among international organizations, publications, and individuals based on different themes, works of nature, engineering masterpieces, constructions of the Middle Ages, etc. Its purpose has also changed from just a simple travel guide or compendium of curious places to lists of sites to defend or to preserve. So that's the end of this article. If you guys like this,